Hi everyone, my name is Gina, and in this tutorial I'll be showing you how to make this scarf. For this tutorial, you'll need 2 balls of chunky yarn. I'm using the Lines brand Woolies Thick and Quick, a set of 10mm knitting needles, and a pair of scissors. And you're ready to get started. To start your scarf, you're going to cast on 18 stitches with the long tail cast on method. So you want to give yourself some room from the end of the yarn. I usually give myself about 7 hand width of room for a project like this. First, you're going to make a slip knot. To make a slip knot, you'll put the 2 strands of yarn together like that, and then you'll take the tail end and you'll put it through that hoop and pull it through and pull the tail to tighten. And you're going to grab your knitting needle and slide it onto that slip knot, and you'll pull on the tail to tighten that slip knot around your needle. Next, you're going to hold the tail end of your yarn like that, and you'll wrap your middle finger to pinky around the tail end. Next, you're going to spread the 2 tails with your index finger and thumb, and you just want to make sure the tail end of the yarn is in front of you, and then the strand of yarn that's attached to the ball is behind you. To cast on, you're going to take your needle and you'll go under the strand of yarn on your thumb, over the strand of yarn on your index finger, and then through the strand of yarn on your thumb, and pull your tail to tighten. I'll show you that one more time. You're going to go under the strand of yarn on your thumb, over the strand of yarn on your index finger, and then through the strand of yarn on your thumb, and you'll pull to tighten. Now you have 3 stitches casted on, and you need 16 more on your needle, so you have a total of 18. And I'll meet you back here when we all have 18 stitches on our needle. This is what your needle should look like once you have 18 stitches casted on. Now you'll take your other needle in your right hand, and for this pattern we're going to make rows of knit stitches. So to make a knit stitch, you'll take your needle and you'll insert it from the front to the back of the first loop. And then you'll take that strand of yarn that's attached to the ball and you'll wrap it from the back to the front. And then you'll take your right needle and you'll pull it through that strand of yarn. And once you've done that, you're going to take the first stitch off your left needle. I'll show you that one more time. You're going to insert your right needle from the front to the back, and then you'll take your piece of yarn and you'll wrap it from the back to the front, and then you'll pull your right needle through and you'll take that stitch off your left needle. And you're going to do that until you reach the end of your row, and I'll meet you back here to show you what to do next. Alright, when you get to the end of your first row, it'll look something like this. And what you want to do is you just want to take the needle with these stitches into your left hand, and you're ready to continue knitting. And for this scarf, it'll be 60 inches long, so you just want to keep knitting until you have 60 inches. And at a certain point, you'll run out of yarn. So what I want to show you is how to join 2 balls. So let's say we hit the end of our 1 ball of yarn. All you want to do is you want to take the end of your second ball and you just want to tie a knot with the 2 yarns. Like that. And then you can continue knitting. Don't worry about the 2 ends because we will weave those in at the end. Once your scarf is 60 inches in length, you're ready to cast off. And to cast off, you're going to first knit 2 stitches. Once you have your 2 stitches, you're going to take your first stitch over the second stitch and off your needle. Once you have 1 stitch on your needle, you're going to knit a second one. And again, you're going to take your first stitch over your second one and off your hook. And you'll keep doing that until you have only 1 stitch left on your needle. Once you're at the end of your cast off, you'll have 1 stitch on your needle. Now what you're going to do is you're going to slide your needle off and you'll grab your scissors and just snip off the yarn from the rest of the ball, and you'll pull that piece of yarn through like that, and you would have finished your scarf. Once you're done your scarf, you'll have 4 loose ends, 2 from the beginning and end of the scarf, and 2 from the middle where you join the 2 balls of yarn. Now what you want to do is you want to take your knitting needle and you want to weave in all these ends. So to weave in, you'll just take your needle and hook that strand of yarn through the loops on the yarn, like that. And you just want to hook it through a couple of times so this yarn is secure and it won't unravel itself. And what I like to do is, after hooking the yarn through a couple of times, I like to just tie a knot to make sure it's secure. So I've hooked it through twice, and what I'll do now is I'll tie a little knot. So instead of pulling that strand of yarn through, I'll just push that tail through the end, like that, and then tie a knot. And I'll hook it through one more time. And now what I'll do is I'll take scissors and cut off that last piece of yarn. And you'll have a little tail at the end, but what you want to do is you just kind of want to push that tail into your work to hide it. And now no one can see the tail of your yarn. And you just want to do that to all the remaining strands of yarn until they're all weaved in and hidden. Alright, so now we're going to add tassels onto our scarf. To make tassels, you're going to cut 28 pieces of yarn about this length. This is about 3 hand width. And you want to take 2 strands, bunch them together, and then fold them down the middle like that. Now you want to find the first hoop on your scarf, which for me is right here, and you want to stretch that hoop out a little bit. And you're going to want to push the middle of your tassel through that first hoop like that. So it'll look something like this. And then you're going to want to put the tail of the tassel through this hoop right here, like that. And then pull on the tail to tighten. Alright, so you want to add tassels onto every 3rd hoop of your scarf. So this is the first one after the ones you've just made. This is the second one. And then this is the 3rd one. This right here doesn't have to be that precise. You just want to add tassels at a somewhat regular interval. Again, you'll stretch it out, push that tassel through, flip the tail through that hoop, and then pull to tighten. And now you have 2. And you just want to keep doing them until you reach the end. And then afterwards, you're going to flip onto the other side of your scarf to add it to that end as well. Once you're done adding in your tassels, your finished scarf will look something like this. Thanks for watching this video, everybody. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel. If you want to see anything made, leave it in the comments box below, and I'll see you next time.